in like 3 months.
So so the rule of thumb generally is most people recommend 1 to 2 pounds of weight loss a week. So if somebody comes up to you and they're wanting to do substantially beyond that, it's hard to do that without putting yourself at risk.
Don't you think it's also harder to keep it off? I mean, when you lose it too fast?
Yeah, because you're not learning in the process.
Yeah.
We're talking about behavior change.
Yeah.
And if you're doing something drastic, and that's why I've never been, we may at some point do a weight loss competition
Yeah.
in the work setting. But the problem is everybody tries to lose weight, and with some kind of
Gimmick.
That's right. And that's great. So we do a 2-month weight loss competition.
Grapefruit.
And has anybody learned any real behaviors?
You can't keep doing that.
That's right.
Grapefruit, eggs, and bacon.
That's right. So, it's generally recommended that if you're going to reduce your caloric intake, that you start with 15 to 20%. So that would, you'd have to figure out what your intake is first, and then go from there. Now, if you want to get a little bit more aggressive, that's fine. But just bear in mind, it's going to be harder. It's going to be harder to maintain. If you say all of a sudden I'm going to reduce my caloric intake by 50%, and you're setting yourself up for failure. You want to start off small, and then as you gain momentum, then you can get a little bit more aggressive. All right, we kind of covered this. The American College of Sports Medicine says that a female should never fall below 1,200 calories in a day, and a male 1,800 calories in a day. And I know from reading just some Biggest Loser information, because I was just curious. I mean, how do they get those people to drop weight like that? But they don't go below 1,500 for the male.
No matter what you weigh, that's what you should. Okay.
Oh, you mean no matter what you weigh, you shouldn't fall below this?
Yeah, that's what I mean. 1,200.
Because anybody's body is going to
gotta
require
have
that
something
much.
for your
This
eyes
is
to
just
Yeah.
basic functioning.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and actually, I thought these were kind of conservative figures, because you know that anytime somebody issues, a blanket figure like that, they're generally pretty conservative. But really, American College of Sports Medicine has been criticized, saying that and people say these numbers are too low. So I don't really think they're too low. But anyway, so all right, so this should be old hat for you guys. If the bulk of our program is going to be dietary focused, what changes should we make? Do we need any gimmicks?
No.
No, because you guys know what you should be calling out, right? What should we call out?
Sweet tea, Coke.
All right. Processed sugar, whether it's liquid form or in the form of chips and Pop-Tarts and donuts and that stuff. And I think that's probably the lion's share of it. If we studied and we knew how much processed carbohydrate we consume, I think it'd be eye-opening, just the amount we consume. I don't think we realize how much of that stuff we consume. Okay, so that's sugar. Get rid of sugar. What do we want to do in the way of fats?
Healthy ones and cut them back.
What are the healthy ones, man? I want to see if you guys remember.
Avocado.
Avocados,
Okay.
nuts, olive oil.
Oh, you guys are right on. What are those? What kind of fats are those? Are they saturated fats?
Unsaturated.
Unsaturated. All right. So, do we want to consume any trans fats? No. I mean, those are easy to get rid of. We want to get rid of the trans and the saturated stuff. The saturated, remember, those are animal fats, right? Trans are man-made. Vegetables, that's where we get our unsaturated fats. So avocados or nuts, anything that grows from a plant, that's a good fat. And I don't think you got to reduce it, because if you reduce these two, I think if you reduce and eliminate those two, you'd never have to worry about it. You could eat all kinds of unsaturated fat. And I'm a big guacamole fan, and I can put that stuff away. And that's my excuse.
It's good for them.
It's good for you.
It's good for me, especially if I cull this stuff out of here. We got to have our protein. Why we need protein? What's the concern? It's always the big concern, particularly with women, that we're not getting enough protein, especially if you start working out. Why is that so? Why is that such a big deal?
Because protein builds muscle.
That's right. So let's say you start working out, you're doing a lot of strength training, and you've culled all your carbs and all your fats. what does your body start doing?
Starts burning muscle if it doesn't.
That's
have-
right. And that's extreme, and that's what I'm trying to draw your attention to. Everybody kind of makes, oh, you got to get your protein. That's extreme. I mean, you got to be down to nothing before your body says, we got to start breaking down muscle for energy now. So I think it's important for us to realize, but I think where you really see this is in, when you see diets that, for instance, the Atkins diet, or diets that are big on shakes and stuff like that, they're always real high on protein. They want to make sure you get plenty of protein because they've culled most of your carbohydrate